What if the door you have been praying for is not the door you have been watching? What if heaven is preparing an opportunity so unexpected that your old expectations would never recognize it? Listen carefully. Your delay is not your denial. Your closed door is not your final destination, and your disappointment may be the hallway leading you somewhere greater. You may be standing in a season that feels confusing, but confusion does not mean God has forgotten you. Sometimes the greatest transition begins when everything familiar stops working. You have asked for change, and now the old pattern is breaking. You asked for provision, and the familiar source is drying up. You asked for purpose, and suddenly the comfortable routine feels empty. You asked for direction, and the road you planned seems blocked. Do not panic. A blocked road can be divine redirection. The door you expected may have been too small for what you are becoming. Think about a seed. When a seed is buried, it can look like it has disappeared. From the surface, nothing is happening. Yet beneath the soil, something powerful is taking place. The seed is breaking open. Roots are forming. A hidden life is preparing to rise. Your present season may feel like burial, but it may actually be preparation. What looks like an ending may be the breaking of a shell that could never contain your next level. There are moments when God closes a door because staying there would keep you dependent on what has already expired. You may call it rejection, you may call it failure, you may call it bad timing. But sometimes what you call loss is protection. Sometimes what you call delay is development. Sometimes what you call silence is an invitation to listen more deeply. So stop measuring your future by your current circumstances. Stop assuming that. Because you cannot see a way, there is no way. You do not need to see the entire staircase to take the next step. You need courage for today. You need faith for the next move. You need discipline while the answer is still invisible. And when the unexpected door opens, you will understand why the familiar door had to close. You will realize that the waiting was not wasted, the tears were not meaningless, and the preparation was not punishment. You are being positioned for something your old life could not carry. You are not forgotten, and you are not abandoned. Keep your heart ready, because the next chapter can begin before you feel ready or imagined. Imagine standing before a wall, so high that you cannot see what is behind it. You push, search, climb, and pray, but nothing moves. Then one day, instead of the wall opening, you discover a doorway several steps away that you never noticed. The miracle was not that the wall disappeared. The miracle was that your perspective changed. This is where many people lose hope. They believe that if one opportunity fails, their future has failed. If one relationship ends, love has failed. If one career path closes, purpose has failed. If one financial plan collapses, provision has failed. But your future is larger than one opportunity. Your purpose is deeper than one position. Your life is not defined by the door that rejected you. Consider Joseph. His story did not move from promise to palace in a straight line. There was betrayal, separation, injustice, and waiting. If Joseph had judged his future by the pit, he would have believed the promise was dead. If he had judged his purpose by the prison, he would have assumed his life was over. But the place that looked like confinement became a place of preparation. The skills, character, and wisdom developed there later mattered in a position nobody could have predicted. That is the pattern you need to understand. Preparation often happens in places you would never choose. Character is developed when applause disappears. Wisdom grows when quick answers do not come. Leadership develops when you must serve without recognition. Faith becomes strong when you have no visible evidence yet. Maybe you are in your pit right now. Maybe your plans have been interrupted. Maybe people who promised to stand beside you have walked away. Do not let their departure become your definition. People can leave your chapter without being able to cancel your story. There is another door. You may not see it yet, but that does not mean it does not exist. Your responsibility is not to force the old door open. Your responsibility is to remain ready for the new one. Keep learning, keep praying, keep praying. Keep your integrity. Keep your heart free from bitterness. Because when the unexpected opportunity arrives, preparation will determine whether you recognize it. The door may appear ordinary, It may come through a conversation, a small assignment, a new connection, an idea, or an invitation. Do not despise small beginnings. Sometimes a small opportunity is carrying a future too large to understand at first glance. Stay awake to possibility, because the answer may arrive through a path you would never have chosen today. There is a dangerous question that can quietly control your life. Why is this happening to me? Ask it long enough, and you may become trapped in the past. A better question is this: what is this season preparing me to become? Instead of seeing hardship only as an enemy, you begin searching for the lesson. Instead of seeing waiting as wasted time, you begin using it as training. Instead of asking why someone rejected you, you begin asking what you can build without their approval. Think about a mountain climber. The climber does not reach the summit by staring at the top from the parking lot. There are steep sections, cold nights, wrong turns, and moments when the next step is difficult to see. Yet every step builds capacity. The mountain is not merely something to conquer. It is something that develops the person climbing it. Your unexpected door may require a version of you that has not yet been developed. That is why preparation matters. You may be asking for influence while heaven is building your character. You may be asking for wealth while you are being taught stewardship. You may be asking for a platform while you are learning humility. You may be asking for leadership while you are learning how to serve. Do not rush the process simply because you are impatient with the pace. Speed can put you in rooms your character cannot sustain. An open door without preparation can become a trap. A blessing without wisdom can become a burden. An opportunity without discipline can become another disappointment. Use this season to learn, grow, practice, and prepare intentionally now. Improve your communication, strengthen your habits, repair what you can repair, forgive what you must release. Stop rehearsing conversations that cannot change the past. Stop comparing your timeline with somebody else's highlight reel. Your life is not late because another person arrived earlier. Different assignments require different preparation. A tree does not apologize for taking years to become strong enough to provide shade. And one day something will happen that makes you understand. A person will call. An opportunity will appear. A solution will emerge. A door will open from a direction you never considered. Suddenly, pieces of your past will connect. You will realize that the season you wanted to escape was teaching you what the next season would demand. The pain was not your identity, but it produced endurance. The waiting was not your destination, but it produced patience. The closed door was not your future, but it redirected your feet toward it. Now let us go deeper, because an unexpected door does not always look like a miracle when it first appears. Sometimes it looks like responsibility. Sometimes it looks inconvenient. Sometimes it looks smaller than what you imagined. Sometimes it arrives through a person you almost ignored. Not every open door is your door. Opportunity alone is not confirmation. Just because something is available does not mean it is aligned with your purpose. Some doors open because you force them. Others open because someone wants something from you. Others open because you are finally prepared to walk through them. Learn to distinguish opportunity from assignment. An opportunity asks, "Can you do this?" An assignment asks, "Should you do this?" An opportunity can increase your visibility. An assignment can increase your responsibility. An opportunity may impress people. An assignment may transform people. Before you rush through a new door, examine what it produces in you. Does it require you to abandon your values? Does it make you compromise your integrity? Does it pull you away from what matters most? Does it feed your ego while starving your purpose? If so, be careful. The unexpected door God opens will not require you to become a counterfeit version of yourself. It may stretch you, but it will not demand that you betray your convictions. It may scare you, but fear alone is not a reason to retreat. Growth often feels uncomfortable because your capacity is expanding. Remember the fisherman who had spent an exhausting night catching nothing. The next instruction seems simple: go deeper. Imagine how strange that must have sounded after hours of failure. Yet the breakthrough was connected to obedience beyond the familiar place. Maybe your next door requires you to go deeper. Deeper discipline, deeper faith, deeper learning, deeper honesty, Deeper courage. You may have been standing at the edge of your own potential because you keep returning to shallow waters. You keep doing what is comfortable because it is predictable. But predictable does not always mean purposeful. There comes a moment when you must stop asking for a sign and start becoming ready. You cannot control when the door appears, but you can control whether you are prepared when it does. So today, make yourself ready. Clean your habits, clarify your values, strengthen your skills, organize your life, guard your mind, practice excellence when nobody is watching, because sometimes the door is already nearby. The problem is not that God has not opened it. The problem is that you are still looking for a door that matches your old imagination. Think about the people who nearly quit one day before their breakthrough. They did not know they were one conversation away, one application away, one decision away, one act of courage away. That is the danger of judging your future from a temporary moment. You can be closer than you think. A farmer does not dig up a seed every morning to check whether it is growing. That would destroy the very process he is trusting. He plants, waters, protects, and waits. You cannot demand visible proof every hour. Some things need time beneath the surface. Maybe you have prayed about the same situation for months. Maybe you have worked hard and still have little evidence. Maybe you are tired of hearing yourself say, "Someday." But do not let emotional exhaustion make permanent decisions for a temporary season. Rest if you need to rest. Adjust if you need to adjust. Learn if you need to learn. But do not surrender your future because today feels heavy. Consider David before the throne. He had been anointed for something greater, yet his immediate reality did not look royal. He returned to ordinary responsibilities. He faced danger. His identity was developing long before his position changed. That is important. Position does not create identity. It reveals preparation. If you believe you are called to build, start building with what is already in your hands. If you believe you are called to lead, begin leading yourself. If you believe you are called to encourage others, encourage someone today. If you believe you are called to create, create before the audience arrives. Do not postpone your obedience until your circumstances become perfect. The door may open through the thing you are doing quietly right now. A skill you practice privately can become the skill someone desperately needs publicly. A lesson learned through difficulty can become wisdom that changes another person's life. A small act of consistency can become a reputation for reliability. And understand this, when the door opens, you will not suddenly become disciplined. You will reveal the discipline you practiced before anyone was watching. So keep going, not blindly, but faithfully. Not desperately, but deliberately. Not trying to prove your worth, but developing your capacity. Your future does not need you to know every detail. It needs you to take the next right step. One step can lead to another. One conversation can change direction. One decision can break a cycle. Do not underestimate the power of one obedient step. Your unexpected door may be closer than your fear wants you to believe. There is another kind of closed door that people rarely talk about. The door you were convinced you needed. You prayed for it. You planned around it. You imagined your future through it. Then it closed and you felt as though your entire vision had collapsed. But what if the dream was not wrong? Only the route was wrong. Sometimes we confuse the destination with the method, yet purpose is creative. There can be many routes to the same assignment. A person may lose a job and discover a business. Someone may experience rejection and discover a new community. Someone may move unexpectedly and find relationships that reshape their future. Someone may fail publicly and develop a skill that eventually becomes their greatest strength. The interruption becomes the introduction. This does not mean every painful event is automatically good. Pain is real. Loss is real. Disappointment is real. You do not have to pretend that something did not hurt, but you can refuse to let pain have the final word. Your story can contain disappointment without becoming a story of defeat. Think about a river. When it meets a rock, it does not spend its entire existence arguing with the rock. It moves around it. It finds another path. It keeps flowing. Be like that. If one route closes, ask where the flow is going next. If one plan fails, examine what you learned. If one relationship ends, rebuild your life around healthy foundations. If one opportunity disappears, develop yourself for the next one. Do not become so emotionally attached to one door that you miss the hallway. And be careful with nostalgia. The past can make an expired door look beautiful simply because it is familiar. You may remember the good parts and forget why you needed to leave. You may miss the comfort and forget the limitation. Sometimes growth requires grieving what you wanted while accepting what is becoming. This is where mature faith begins. Mature faith does not say, everything will happen exactly as I imagined. Mature faith says, even when my plan changes, I can still move forward with confidence. You are not powerless because the route changed. You are being invited to become flexible without becoming directionless. So release the picture of how it must happen. Keep the values, keep the purpose, keep the vision. Release the demand that everything follow your preferred schedule. The door you never expected may be connected to a path you never planned. And that may be precisely why it can take you farther than the path you originally chose. Now imagine the moment after the door opens. You step through, and suddenly people notice you. The opportunity grows, the responsibility increases, the resources arrive, the influence expands, everyone celebrates the breakthrough. But there is a hidden danger here. Believing the open door means the work is finished. An open door is not a retirement invitation. It is a responsibility. If you prayed for influence, be prepared to serve. If you prayed for resources, be prepared to manage them. If you prayed for leadership, be prepared to carry people. If you prayed for success, be prepared for increased accountability. The door gives you access, but character determines what you do with access. Many people prepare for breakthrough by asking, what will I receive? Fewer ask, who will I become? That second question matters more. Because the person who receives the opportunity must be able to sustain it. Imagine someone being handed the keys to a powerful vehicle without learning how to drive. The keys are valuable, but without maturity, they can become dangerous. In the same way, a large opportunity in an unprepared life can create pressure that destroys what the opportunity was supposed to build. So do not only pray for the door, pray for the capacity to walk through it. Ask for wisdom. Ask for humility. Ask for courage. Ask for discipline. Ask for the ability to recognize what belongs to you and what does not. Ask for the strength to say no when necessary, because every yes creates a no somewhere else. Every commitment consumes time. Every opportunity carries a cost. You must know what you are willing to sacrifice and what you will never compromise. This is why preparation is spiritual as well as practical. You need a strong inner life, because external success can amplify internal weakness. If insecurity is already controlling you, a larger platform may amplify it. If greed is already controlling you, greater resources may magnify it. If pride is already controlling you, recognition may expose it. But if wisdom is growing, influence can become service. If integrity is strong, resources can become tools. If compassion is deep, leadership can become transformation. So when your unexpected door opens, do not become intoxicated by the size of the room. Remember why you were prepared. Walk through with humility. Work with excellence. Treat people with dignity. Stay teachable. Keep your values visible when nobody is checking. The greatest proof that the door was truly a blessing is not how high it takes you. It is how much good you can do after you arrive. There will be moments when fear tries to disguise itself as wisdom. It will tell you to wait for perfect conditions. It will remind you of every time you failed. It will show you everything that could go wrong. It will whisper that you are not ready. But sometimes fear is simply standing at the entrance of your next level. Courage does not mean you feel no fear. Courage means fear does not make the decision. Think about a person learning to swim. Standing at the edge, the water can look threatening. The mind imagines everything that might happen. But eventually there comes a moment when the person must enter the water. Knowledge matters, instruction matters, preparation matters. But eventually action is required. Your next door may require action. Make the call, submit the application, start the project, have the conversation, Learn the skill, ask the question, apologize, forgive, move, bid, begin, move, bid, begin. You do not need perfect confidence. You need enough courage to take the next step. And if you fail, failure is not necessarily proof that the door was wrong. Sometimes failure gives you information. It shows you what must improve. It reveals a weakness before the stakes become larger. Do not waste failure. Study it. Ask, what did this teach me? What did I ignore? What can I strengthen? Who can I learn from? What must I change? That mindset transforms setbacks into classrooms. Now think about Peter stepping out of the boat. The important lesson is not that he never felt fear. The lesson is that he responded to an invitation to move beyond what was familiar. You have a boat too. It may be your routine, your excuses, your comfort zone, your old identity, your fear of criticism, your attachment to what everyone expects from you. The boat feels safe because it is familiar. But familiarity can become a prison when your purpose requires movement. So listen carefully. You are not required to understand everything before you obey what you already understand. You may not know where the entire path leads. You may not know who will help you. You may not know how every resource will appear. But if the next step is clear, take it. Then take the next one. This is how impossible journeys become possible. Not through one giant leap, but through repeated acts of faithfulness. And one day you will look back and realize that the life you were afraid to begin became the life you were grateful you chose. You can keep moving forward without seeing the whole staircase yet. Your unexpected door may not only change your life, it may change the lives of people connected to you. Think about a lighthouse. It does not shine only for itself. Its light exists because other people are navigating through darkness. In the same way, your breakthrough can become guidance for someone who is still struggling. The story you are surviving today may become the testimony that gives another person courage tomorrow. Bitterness tells you, nobody understands. Wisdom says, learn what this experience is teaching. Bitterness says, I will never trust again. Wisdom says, build healthier boundaries. Bitterness says, they ruined everything. Wisdom says, I can still build from here. You do not have to deny what happened. You have to decide what happens next. Maybe you were overlooked. Let that teach you to recognize overlooked people. Maybe you were betrayed. Let that teach you discernment. Maybe you struggled financially. Let that teach you stewardship. Maybe you experienced failure. Let that teach you resilience. Do not let your pain become meaningless. A scar is evidence that something wounded you, but it is also evidence that healing happened. Your scars do not disqualify you from purpose. Sometimes they become part of the authority with which you speak, but healing must come before healthy influence. You cannot guide others out of the place you refuse to leave yourself. So allow yourself to grow. Build a life that is not dependent on applause. Build confidence that does not collapse when someone disagrees. Build habits that continue when motivation disappears. Build relationships that are honest enough to challenge you. Build faith that can survive silence. And when the door opens, remember the people behind you. Do not become so fascinated by your elevation that you forget your origin. Do not become so focused on being seen that you stop seeing others. Your future is not only about what you can acquire, it is about what you can contribute. Maybe the unexpected door is opening because there are people you are meant to reach through it. Maybe your opportunity will create jobs, encourage families, teach children, strengthen communities, or inspire someone who almost gave up. That is why you must keep going. Your breakthrough may be carrying more than your name. It may be carrying an answer for someone else, so prepare with that understanding. Become strong enough to carry responsibility, humble enough to share credit, wise enough to manage influence, and compassionate enough to remember why the door mattered in the first place. Now bring this message close to your heart. You may be standing in a season where nothing seems to make sense. You may be watching other people move forward while your own life feels paused. You may wonder whether your prayers have been heard. Do not confuse silence with absence. A seed grows in silence. A baby develops in hiddenness. A foundation forms underground. Many of the most important processes in life happen before they become visible. Your hidden season is not necessarily an empty season. Something may be developing in you that you cannot yet measure. Your patience may be growing. Your discernment may be sharpening. Your courage may be strengthening. Your priorities may be changing. Your character may be becoming capable of carrying what you once requested, and perhaps that is the real miracle. You have been asking for a new environment, but you are becoming a new person. You have been asking for a new opportunity, but you are developing new capacity. That is transformation. So stop begging yesterday to return. Stop trying to resurrect doors that have already closed. Stop measuring your worth by who chose you and who did not. You do not have to chase every person. You do not have to force every opportunity. You do not have to prove yourself to everyone. You do not have to convince the right door to open. Your responsibility is preparation, discernment, courage, and obedience. The timing is not entirely in your hands. And when the right door opens, you will know why certain things did not work. You will see connections you could not see before. You will understand why one plan collapsed and another path emerged. Until then, keep moving. Take care of your mind, strengthen your body, guard your words, manage your money wisely, learn something every day, serve someone without expecting applause, pray, reflect, work, rest, begin again. Do not wait for your future to become visible before you become faithful. Your next chapter may already be forming. Your unexpected door may already be closer than you think. And when it opens, do not stand there explaining why you are unqualified. Walk through with humility. Walk through with courage. Walk through prepared, because the door may not look like what you expected. It may look smaller. It may arrive differently. It may come at a time you never planned, but it may lead somewhere your old imagination could never reach. Your future is still alive, even when your present feels uncertain. Share this message, keep walking, and refuse to turn back now.